Hello, everybody, and welcome back to the Super Anime Bros podcast. As always, I'm your host, Rosario, joined by my brother Angelo. And today we're going to talk about something we love.
Welcome back, everybody. This is actually episode 20 of season 2
That's pretty
of
crazy.
the podcast.
Yeah.
You know what I just discovered while we were getting ready here?
What's that?
That we have been doing this over a year now.
That's pretty incredible.
Yeah, we
Honestly,
hit
it feels
our,
like it's been like a million years.
We hit our... Oh, I feel like it's been like a week.
I
I don't know. We hit our 1 year on
When
June
was it?
12th.
we
So
didn't
it's
even
today,
celebrate.
the 13th of July. So last month and a day ago, we
Yeah,
had started the podcast. I
that's
feel
pretty
like,
cool.
you know, a year later, we're still talking about counting down our favorite shows here.
That's nuts, yeah.
But I feel like we've gotten much better at talking to each other.
I don't know. We've been
and
talking to
it's-
each other for like 20 years.
It's 20, something like that. I don't know
Yeah.
when I started talking. I'm 23, so at
Probably
least 20.
30, yeah.
Yeah, at least 20 years. I mean,
Sure, I was talking to you off before that.
Yeah, dude, you've been talking to me for 23 years, so we've gotten better at doing it and recording it.
True. That's a
And,
newer
you know,
thing.
I feel like our love for anime has grown in the past year. We've started watching more shows, and this podcast has helped us watch more shows seasonally. Like, we were
Certainly,
watching
yeah.
like 6-7 shows. But
Yeah, I guess I
now
didn't-
that we
I
do
never
more
thought about
research, we
that.
find more stuff we want to watch. So,
Yeah,
so thank you guys.
that's an interesting way to put it. Yeah,
But yeah, anybody who's
That's
been
cool.
listening, thank you so much. We appreciate it. It's been a lot of fun thus far, and we want to continue doing this. I think. I don't know. I do.
yeah.
And continue having more fun talking
think I
about the
can-
things we like.
Can echo that sentiment.
Yeah, so that was the one. The other thing, man, you know, we talk about anime and anime experiences. Do you want to talk a little bit about our anime experiences yesterday?
Yeah, I certainly do. So as we've talked about previously, like Angelo and I will go to a lot of conventions, specifically like the anime ones that are in our area. And yesterday we had decided that we were going to make a trek to the farthest convention we had ever gone to. Only 2-hour drive, so I don't want to make it sound like we were,
Yeah, we went to the one where we stayed like overnight. That one was close to 2 hours drive.
Oh, it's so true, actually.
That might have been longer, honestly.
Yeah. It could have been, actually. And we stayed overnight out in Toontown. But yesterday's was Collecticon, New Jersey, up at the New Jersey Convention Center. So pretty close to New York City, which I think being in that area like drew like a ton of people. Because this place was nuts yesterday. Like, I've never waited in line so long outside to get into a con. I've never waited in line so long to meet voice actors.
Well,
it was pretty wild.
The thing was, it was only Saturday and Sunday.
Yes, that's
and we were
certainly,
there
yeah.
Saturday when it started. When we
Yeah.
went the last 2 times or every time we've gone to the convention, the biggest one we go to in
Yeah,
Philly,
we usually cook on
Fan
Friday.
Expo. We go Friday, get most everything done, and we've never been there Saturday when it opened. I'm sure it's not nearly as much of a line outside.
Yeah.
Because it is a bigger convention center. They have the whole downstairs area and stuff.
Yeah, no, certainly true.
But yeah, it was a crazy line. How far was the line? We walked like probably half a mile
Yeah, no, actually.
of line just to get in. We happened to make some friends in the line, so it made the time go faster.
Yeah, that
We're
was
just
fun.
talking to other people, just
That was fun. Yeah.
fellow anime nerds like us. So that
Yeah.
was fun. But yeah, that was crazy. It was a long walk, and we waited in line the whole time. But the line there was moving fairly
Yeah,
quick.
yeah. It was actually funny, like, leaving. I'm like, dude, I don't remember walking through any of this area because we were just in line talking the whole time and moving. So it was
Yeah.
funny.
There were like checking in was pretty quick with the phone thing. I
Very
like that
quick, yeah, very
they
quick.
just had like wristbands instead of lanyards. I've never been to a con that doesn't have like a lanyard.
Yeah, that was certainly
which I
interesting.
actually liked because I was cosplaying, so I don't really like to have a lanyard when I cosplay. I had a wristband on that was under my cloak anyway.
What were you cosplaying?
I was cosplaying as Kirito from Sword Art Online.
Wow.
You know, we
must have
talked
turned out
about
really well.
It did. We'll have to make a post about the
Yeah,
with our
certainly.
one picture
We
from the
certainly will.
weekend.
Well, 20 of the same picture.
Yeah, just to share our experience there. It was crazy though, but we did at least have the pleasure of meeting Bryce Pappenbrook, who voices the English dub for a lot of cool main characters.
For sure, yeah.
He voices Kirito from Sword Art Online,
Yeah.
Meliodas from Seven Deadly Sins,
Yeah,
and most
and
importantly,
the biggest of which was
Yeah,
Aaron from Attack
yeah.
on Titan. main reason we wanted to, or at least I wanted to meet him. And like, we've been to a lot of conventions over the last 5 years, met a lot of the English voice actors. He was definitely one of the biggest ones left, I think, if not the biggest one.
Yeah,
left
I'd
to
say
meet.
I'd say out of ones that we've been hyped for together, I think he's like top 3.
Yeah. So that made it a little easier to wait in line for 4 hours.
Yeah, that was the longest line.
It was crazy. Yeah, I can't think of a time in my life where I've waited that long for anything in line. Like even at Disney for like
that's what I was about to say.
I never waited 4 hours.
I
even
waited
for like when rides were brand
when
new.
I went. They had just opened like the new Star Wars area. And
Yeah.
they had the one Millennium Falcon ride. I waited like 2.5 hours for that.
Yeah, I think I waited probably a similar amount for the one Avatar, like almost virtual reality ride when that was brand new.
But 4 hours.
And
is,
like I remember as a kid waiting 2 hours for a ride at Hershey Park when that was brand new.
ew.
We waited like 2.5 hours to meet Chris Sabat a couple years ago in Philly. Never 4 hours. That was wild. It really, really was. But it was cool. It was a great experience to get to meet him. Walk around the
To be
convention
fair,
a little bit. Yeah.
with the Chris Sabat line, the first time we met him, you had to like wait in line and take a ticket, like you're in a deli, to even stand.
Yeah,
in
and
the
then
line.
wait for your turn to get
They do like at the PhillyCon, the couple times we've had him, he's been there. They do have that line set up fairly efficiently.
Yeah.
I wonder how long he was at the con we were at yesterday, at Collecticon, and they had his line was like as big as the one we waited in, but then they also like you went into like a
Into
room.
another room, and I feel like I heard people talking about when we were in Bryce's line, like them already cutting off Chris Sabat's line.
And that was at like 2 p.m.
Yeah, and we left like as the show was supposed to be closing at 6. After we met Jeremy Lee, who voices Asuna in Sword Art Online, to go with our meeting Bryce from Sword Art Online. Then she's also Lucy in Fairy Tail.
Yes, yeah, I've actually been watching more of that.
Indeed.
But yeah, I'm.
But when I was sorry to finish my thought,
No,
like
please
his
don't.
line was still so incredibly long at 6 o'clock when the place was supposed to be closing. Like they were going to be there till 8 o'clock at least. I
To
feel.
Bryce Papenbrook.
No,
Or
Chris Sabat.
Yeah, I don't know.
Bryce's line was pretty short.
Well, he said he was probably going to be there way past 6.
Yeah,
He said,
yeah. Bryce made a
he's
joke.
like,
He's like, "How late can
we
I be here?" Yeah.
But I, looking back on it now, a new day, I got some sleep. I think it was worth it to meet him. He's a great guy. I'm gonna be upset if he comes to like a smaller con, like in like next year, and his line's like 20 minutes.
Yeah, that would be pretty tragic. But I mean, yeah, we did it.
We wanted to meet him. That was the cost of doing business, and
Now we have
we've
that to look back upon.
Yeah, we've met pretty much all our favorite dub actors now. So
Yeah,
That's pretty cool.
It really is. It really is. Yeah, almost a little full circle, because the first convention we were going to 5 years ago was Fan Expo in Philly, and he was supposed to be there and canceled, and that was pretty tragic. But now here we are, kind of at the end of meeting, at least for the first time, everybody that we wanted to meet, and almost bookending with him. I mean, I know there's still certainly a few more people that we plan to meet this year and then hopefully in the future, but I don't know. It was
there's some
cool.
people, like, if it's not a horrible line, I would just go get, like, another thing signed because they voice a lot of characters and just chat for, like, 5 minutes.
Yeah. No, it is always fun. But yeah, that was a wild experience yesterday. It was a full 12-hour day.
Yeah.
And like the convention itself, like vendors and all, so many Pokemon cards, it was insane. I didn't really look at too much of anything because I'm balling on a little bit of a budget right now. Plus, like the way Pokemon is right now, everything's so expensive.
And
but it was crazy.
the music was way too loud.
Yeah. So like, I don't know what the connection is to a convention, but mid 2000s rapper Waka Flocka Flame had a concert at the convention. He played a few songs. I wouldn't.
I mean, we got
concert.
to hear his song.
Yeah, like to hear.
I don't know which one.
For some reason, to see No Hands by Waka Flocka Flame live at a trading card convention, it was wild. It really was. But it was pretty lit. Like, I'm not gonna lie, that was pretty electric.
I mean, there were people like at the front of the crowd, like
Going
live
ham,
and
yeah.
stuff. Yeah, like
Yeah.
if you like Waka Flocka Flame and also Pokemon cards and anime. Did we have the place for you
Yeah, that was the
last
perfect
week
convention.
over the weekend?
Yeah, but the music was just so loud, and the like warehouse convention center thing you're in, like it's kind of big, but like that sound traveled through the whole thing.
Yeah, it wasn't like bad by at least by where they had like all the autographs was not too loud.
Yeah,
With the
yeah,
music, it wasn't
yeah.
that annoying. It was just, you know.
Just some of the bassier thing. Like even after he was done playing, they had like a DJ going. Some of the bassier songs were
Yeah, it was
Crazy.
great, but there was just a lot of annoyances. And the air conditioner was subpar.
so true, dude. Like, so we're waiting outside. It's 10 in the morning, 10:30 by the time we get in.
It was pretty high.
And it was
yesterday.
hot already. And I'm like, oh my god, I can't wait to get in. And like even worse for you because you're in.
Yeah, if anybody
full
knows
getup.
what a Kirito looks like, he's the black swordsman, so he wears all black, which is not great to do in the heat.
Yeah.
So I had a black long sleeve shirt on, black pants, boots, and a cloak on. So it got pretty toasty.
So yeah, like we're out there, it's hot, and it's like, okay, when we get inside, it'll all be better. We'll get some nice AC. That was not the case. That was not the case.
No.
Not to reflect upon like the negativity of it, but like that was definitely like a big.
Yeah, we had a lot
part
of
the
usually like
convention.
negatives for a con, or like, oh, we didn't get to meet somebody, or like we were stressed out about a line. Like it was just not that stuff. I was stressed out about one of the lines we were in, but like the first 4 hours was just like,
Yeah.
it was just painful.
Yeah.
It was very hot.
Yeah.
And yeah, just being in those
Didn't
tight
bring in
lines.
water, dude. Should have brought water. And yeah, that was,
And we had to pee the whole time.
that line was
like it was
That
tough
line was pretty packed.
because we just rushed right in and got in the line from the second we walked in.
And I mean, thank God we did. But, we could have been waiting even longer. Like
Yeah, we might have not even got to. Oh, we would have got to.
Hey,
it,
we
but
still
it was.
would've,
It was.
yeah.
It was rough. But at the end of the day, I'm glad we did it.
Agreed. Yeah.
It was
100%.
I mean, we tried it. I don't think we'll be going back next year unless
yeah.
like the tagline is like now with air conditioning.
Yeah, that would have to be one or half the people or twice the size convention center, something like that.
Yeah.
Something like that.
But it was fine. Conventions are always fun. It's nice to do one. I missed one of the other ones this year because people I wanted to meet canceled. So it was cool to pick another one up.
Yeah. That one you're referencing there, I had a great time at. So.
Too Many Games. We talked about that one
Did
a couple weeks ago because you said you were very excited about it.
Yeah, but did we talk about like afterward?
No, I don't think so.
Nah, I mean, I got. A
I
lot of
wasn't
good
there.
Stuff, but yeah.
I mean, we're already halfway done. We could just make this a convention episode if you want to talk about that.
Yeah, I mean, I'm cool with that. If you
We're
are,
a
I
year
guess,
in
like-
review. Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah.
Talk about that. Then we'll just talk about
That's funny.
talk about the podcast a little bit.
Yeah. So Too Many Games convention. It's my favorite convention every year. I really, really enjoy it. It's focused around video games, but also has some anime guests. Though, to be honest, usually like this convention's really, really packed, so the lines can get pretty long.
I
Like,
know, man. After yesterday.
True.
Well, that
True.
one's crowded. I think Too Many Games is the most crowded shopping wise. The lines were long for Too Many Games, but shopping wise, like you got to push by people.
Yeah, it's pretty
look at
crazy.
stuff. It's cool.
It was. I mean, it wasn't too bad like that this year.
You went Friday.
When we went 2 years ago, we waited in line to meet Roger Craig Smith for what felt like 2 hours.
I think it was like at least an hour and a half.
And some of the lines, like Charles Martinet, the voice of Mario, he goes every year. And honestly, his line, like we've seen him at some other conventions, his line is always the longest at Too Many Games.
Well, I mean, he was at Collecticon yesterday, and there were
yeah.
times you had like 2-3 people.
Yeah,
in
there were
line.
definitely some times where he was busier, but I always think back to at Fan Expo, was that last year?
Yeah, not the most recent.
We were waiting in line for I forget who, and you literally were like, "Wow, Charles Martin has a long
Yeah,
line.
like,
I'm
give me
gonna go
10
meet him
minutes."
real quick." And you got back.
We had
in
no line.
time.
There was just one person. I just
yeah,
walked
you
right
just
up.
walked right
and
up. I was still
got
chilling
to
in
talk
line.
to Mario.
Maybe that was Justin Briner. We're waiting in line.
I don't know. Yeah, it was something. People were doing the heck out of that yesterday.
They really were. And I mean,
Like,
look,
hey, buddy,
it's
hold
4
my
hours.
spot,
Like
yeah.
it is what it is. I don't really
yeah,
care.
like a couple of the people in front of us, like they were like two guys. They would just like keep subbing out, tagging in for
Yeah.
each other. I'm like, I guess we could have done that to like go to the bathroom and get water, but
I agree. And like I don't. Not
I
that
just
was,
don't want people to think we're like
Exactly.
fun.
I wasn't looking down upon any of the people that did that. I don't really care. But personally, I would feel bad doing that. But yeah, so Too Many Games this year. It was awesome. I went with some buddies from college. And honestly, so the first couple hours I was there by myself. And that was just like, okay, I'm just going to shop till I drop. I'm going to try to, systematically go up and down every row and see what we got here. I'm big into, I like buying the Japanese imported games. Though with our upcoming trip to Japan, I feel like I, didn't want to go too crazy because I'll be able to get a lot of that stuff, A, from Japan, which will be awesome, and B, cheaper, because it's not imported. So I ended up getting a bunch of Mario games from the Japanese. Mario 64, Mario Kart 64, Mario Sunshine, Mario Double Dash Mario Kart Double Dash, and Mario Baseball from the GameCube, which was pretty electric. So that was the Mario section of it, and then I don't know why or what it was that made me decide this. Pokemon's been such a big thing this last year, and everything's exploded, and it's all crazy. Oh, something I didn't tell you. I don't know if you remember this, but last year at this Too Many Games convention, I got the Portuguese version of an old Pokemon Diamond and Pearl set. Do you remember that? It was pretty early on. Maybe it was me, you, and Mike.
You have that?
Yeah, I bought one pack. It was $15.
Oh, of cards.
Yeah,
I was thinking
from
of the
Diamond
games.
No,
man, I don't remember that.
No.
I don't remember the cards either, but
Okay.
it just makes more sense to me now, at least.
Mike remembered the cards. Shout out, Mike. So it was $12 or $15, which I'm oh my God, that's awesome. Diamond and Pearl was the set that was out when we were kids. Mm-hmm. Definitely the most nostalgic set for me, whether it's the games or the cards. And so it was okay, it's in Portuguese, but it's still, from 2008. I'll pay $15 for this. Go back this year, they have the same exact packs. Mm-hmm. Same set, Portuguese, same thing. $145 a pack.
And you paid $15?
Yes.
Dang, you should have bought them all.
That's what I was saying to myself.
Why?
I guess because of the explosion.
Yeah, but Pokemon exploded again during COVID, so you're saying
but it
done
had
it again now?
It's even worse, yeah. Angelo, it's insane.
Are we allowed to say that? Do we get demonetized for saying COVID?
The Backstreet Boys reunion tour?
Yeah.
I don't think you get
I think we're past that.
Plus,
it's just a little...
you can't get demonetized if you're not monetized.
That's true.
Shout out to all our sponsors.
I was just trying to get a little Game Grumps reference in there.
Well, I got it in there for you.
Thanks, buddy.
Yeah, dude, it's nuts right now. You can't go into a store and find anything.
Well, I've seen, funnily enough, where I've seen videos, Jason Page.
Yeah.
Who was at the con yesterday. He
yeah.
sang the original Pokemon theme song. We missed the performance of it. They had a performance at noon.
It's a shame that wasn't as loud as can be.
Yeah, at the same stage that they had Waka Flocka playing on, but it was not loud. We did not hear it. But he has posted a lot of videos in the past of people just fighting over this stuff, saying, "Come on, guys, let's not ruin the hobby here."
It's ruined. It's over.
But dude, people take things. They're like, "Let me make money off of it." So let's ruin it for everybody else.
Yeah.
A thing that was originally designed to be a kid's game is getting ruined. I've seen videos of people ripping stuff out of kids' hands. Let them
a lot
have
of that
this.
might be dramatized.
I don't know. I don't know.
The biggest I've seen
not
is
completely bad,
okay.
but people just all going in. At
Yeah.
once. And a little kid's not going to be able to push in.
No.
More than a grown
not.
dude.
Certainly not. The worst I've seen is some of the videos of Costco will sometimes get sets and have them a little cheaper, and they'll just drop a pallet on the floor and just people going crazy, tackling each other for stuff.
Yeah, it's like if you go to the beach and you get a basket of fries, you just throw it on the ground and all the seagulls come rush in.
That was one hell of an analogy.
Yes, that's what it's like.
That
I'm
was
assuming.
Great, yeah. That was great. But yeah, dude, it's it got pretty rough coming out of COVID. But even then, I feel most stores, they would put the stuff behind their service desk and you'd still be able to get it. It would maybe be limited, but you'd be able to get it.
I think that's fine.
I agree.
Is great.
And for me, I'm pretty much primarily a sealed collector. So if there's something I want, a special box or just the packs, I'm just going to buy one to have. I don't need 10 to resell. I'm just going to buy the one. So I am all for that kind of situation, and that worked out really well coming out of COVID. But now it's just you cannot find them anywhere. Even Target, for example, will have them behind the service desk sometimes. It is rare that I'm able to actually get something. It's such a shame, and I didn't look at really prices yesterday. I think back to that convention in Philly, and one particular booth, but there were a lot that were definitely expensive. But this one booth was charging 4 or 5 times the MSRP price, and it's disgusting. It
Yeah.
really is. And it's a shame because, like, if people are still paying, I don't see how it would ever stop. But
Because somebody will really want it, and they'll pay that much money.
for sure, yeah, there always will be someone like that. And that sucks. That sucks. You know, it sucks for me, but at the end of the day, like you were saying, it's supposed to be a kid's game. It sucks the most.
I
for
mean,
that.
yeah,
Like,
in general, scalpers just ruin everything. Well, not everything, but things like, they did the same thing. They do it every time a new console comes out.
yeah.
Like, oh yeah, I need 7 PlayStations. I need 10
just like-
Switches.
It's hard to combat against scalping.
Let me make, let me make $50 each or $100
Yeah.
each. Like, come on, get a job.
yeah, no, it's such
Get a
such a
job.
sorry existence, dude. It really is.
I think Nintendo is like maybe gonna do something where you have to have like a certain amount of hours logged with the Switch to buy a Switch.
that
2.
was like they were doing that to like almost like a lottery system for pre-orders, but to do it in like a fair way.
I think that's a fair way to.
But
do
I
it.
don't know how that worked.
Yeah,
really.
it wouldn't. I don't know if it did work or anything. They're really into lottery systems in Japan.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, like it just sucks because then you make it harder for the people who are actually going to use the thing. Like you either got to pay twice as much or wait 6 months.
Yeah.
Like it took us forever. Like I mean, actually not that bad. We got lucky when we were trying to get the new generation of like Xbox.
Yeah, I mean, we got the Series S first pretty easily, and then the X.
Yeah, I mean, it was still months
later,
after
yeah.
it came out that we got the Series S, but they just happened to have them at the Walmart we were at.
Yeah, yeah. And I mean, the Switch 2 I got in the midnight release. That wasn't really all that troublesome.
I mean, now if you want one, it's troublesome.
No.
Do they have them in stores?
Sometimes. And, like, there's, like, restocks pretty constantly offline.
Yeah, well,
I actually don't think this one's going that poorly. But, I mean, there's still
I don't know. Yeah, I just been hearing like that
Um,
it's going to be a problem, but I think that might just be people.
fear-mongering.
Yeah, I don't know. Regardless, back to what you're saying about like cards. Yeah, I just don't understand why. Well, I know why people do it is to make money, but like
For
you're
sure.
ruining the hobby.
Yeah, it just sucks.
If you guys kill the hobby and nobody
Exploit.
buys the cards, or less people want to buy the cards, then you're not going to make as much money either.
Yeah, it's true. But with all that said, I at some point decided that maybe I was going to pick up some of the old Pokemon games from before my time. And after like, it ended up being like a pretty last minute thing the night of the con. Other things we did, we played some games like the Too Many Games convention has quite literally too many games. I'd like to make that joke a lot. But they've got a lot of gaming setups where you can play. They've got a whole like almost arcade area. So we were checking some of that stuff out. That was a lot of fun. It was really, really just a great time overall. They were giving out free monsters. I got like 3 of them. That was awesome.
Like full size monsters.
Oh yeah, yeah, it was good. I left a couple in my buddy's fridge, but the one that I had was fire.
I don't know. I haven't had a monster since I was in like early high school.
Yeah,
It's been a minute.
yeah. I mean, I'm a Celsius kind of guy, but the Monster Zeros
I'm
I
a
think are still
sleep
pretty good.
enough kind of guy.
I see, even when I do, it just doesn't. Really
It's because
do
you're
the
too
job,
used to drinking Celsius.
though. Nah, I mean maybe I don't know.
I don't
man.
know. I like to drink energy drinks, coffee very rarely because when it does, it hits.
Yeah, for me it's very hit or miss, and I feel like the come down's usually pretty hard. But yeah, that was a highlight getting the free ones.
Yeah, that sounds like a good time.
So as far as like Pokemon games, honestly, they've probably gone up in price, but nowhere near like the cards. But also, they were already pretty darn expensive, and they have been for years.
What, the game?
Yes, yeah.
Ah,
So specifically the DS and the Game Boy Advance games. So like Pokemon Emerald or like loose, probably like $220, which is insane.
It's when people decide they need to sail the 7 seas.
True. Pokemon Black and White 2, probably similarly priced in the 200s. Any of the other games all in the hundreds. Platinum maybe is like 180. Like they're all pretty darn expensive. But thankfully, most of the original Game Boy ones, which is the ones that I don't have, Emerald before this con, Emerald was the oldest one that I had. And I think you might have Sapphire.
Yeah, I think you have, and you have Fire Red too.
Yeah, so yeah, Emerald, then Fire
But I
Red,
have
then
Sapphire.
I have Diamond, Pearl, Platinum, Black, White 2, Heart Gold. Everything after that I have. but yeah, never any of the Game Boy ones. So I ended up finding a pretty cool Game Boy Color with like Pokemon around the screen, like a special Pokemon edition. So I picked that up. That was what I felt was a decent price. And then I went around and I bought some of the old Pokemon games. So I got Yellow, Blue, and Silver, all with their batteries replaced. So the internal batteries on a lot of the old games will, die out. And that will turn off like the internal clock. There's not going to be any like event things or day-night cycle or anything time-based. And also,
did they start day-night cycle that early?
Yeah, Gen 2. And then also like I've heard, I don't know how true this is, that I can like mess up being able to save. So having the batteries replaced was pretty awesome perk. And all of those were under $100, not total, but each. Which comparing it to some of the mid 2000s games, it's crazy how much cheaper. So that was cool. That was the first day. And then I actually did go back on the last day and picked up a Japanese version of Pokemon Red, still called Pocket Monsters Red, from 1995, which was the first game ever released, which is actually not region locked, so I can play it on the Game Boy Color. It can't communicate with any English games, but I can still play it on the Game Boy Color, so that's really cool.
Yeah, you just gotta learn how to read Japanese, and then you'll be ready to go.
I mean, with Pokemon, I feel like if you just click A,
there's points where you have to but there's points where you have to make decisions, is there not? In the first game.
I mean, a little bit, like.
Or like somebody talks to you and they're like asking you something, you'll be like, yeah, maybe.
Yeah, maybe.
I mean, I guess if you just generally say yes.
Yes, but I could also just translate with my phone. And
I mean, it's better than paying what it would cost to get the English version.
Well, I mean, I have the English Blue.
Okay. Well, then you have both.
Yeah,
you just play both at the same time.
Yeah, but
then you'll know what to say.
Yeah, but the Pocket Monsters Red, which I don't think it has a replaced battery, though it didn't give me a notification the battery had died when I put it in. Was only like $25. It's just
cheap.
Insane how cheap they are. And that honestly, that goes for pretty much all of the Japanese imports. I didn't say this when I was talking about them originally, but they're all cheaper, even with them having been imported, and obviously that costs money.
Is there just like a lot more of them?
There must be.
Or I know a
be.
lot of Japanese people do take better care of stuff like that.
Yeah.
So maybe more survived even.
Possible, yeah. I think there's just more overall, is my guess. So yeah, it's pretty cool. And definitely something great about, like, even Japanese Pokemon cards are cheaper. It's all.
It's funny how that works. Like they make it, it's just so expensive of a hobby in America.
Yeah, I mean, not to say that their prices also haven't gone up over here as well, because they have, but it's still a cheaper option.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I ended up buying that, and then I did buy Pokemon Crystal, which was a pretty penny. I won't lie. So that's the third version of Gen 2. And the most expensive Game Boy / Game Boy Color game. But I love having the third version of Pokemon. Pokemon Yellow, Pokemon Crystal, Pokemon Emerald, Pokemon Platinum, so on and so forth. Just because they've improved anything that reasonably needed to be improved. Generally, you can catch more legends in them. Pokedex is usually a little more open. So I
don't know, I never played one.
Wow, that's wild.
I didn't have Platinum.
Yeah.
And the only other one after that was where I had Soul Silver.
Well,
that's
yeah,
like
that's a remake.
That's a pretty
That's a
sizable
remake,
game.
yeah,
Though.
not...
you get to go through 2 regions, so it's pretty cool.
Well, you do in Gen 2, like regular Gen 2.
Oh.
That wasn't new to Heart Gold.
Really?
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
But yeah, I've played like ROM hacks of Pokemon, so I've had where you can catch almost everyone in the game.
Yeah, I mean that obviously, like, they changed the game.
Yeah, majorly.
I tried one ROM hack on my iPad, and I randomized it, and then immediately I was like, damn, I should not have randomized this, and I've never gone back to it.
Yeah, I just finished playing Pokemon Unbound, which is one of the most famous ROM hacks, and that was incredibly fun. Like at any point in the game, you can kind of customize some of the difficulty levels and the experience.
Yeah,
Optional
that's
like
super cool.
EXP share, turn off some of the crap you have to grind for, so you can really make the game the experience you want to play. There's like cool mission systems, and there was just so many Pokemon and so many, almost every legendary you can catch
That's pretty sweet. I won't
post
lie.
game. But
That's pretty sweet. Speaking of the legends, another thing that was at the con, I actually ended up not taking part in it, but my one buddy did. If he brought your DS, they were people there that were giving out old event Pokemon.
oh, that's super cool.
So
I
that
would've
was
done
really cool.
Which
yeah.
which ones did you get?
All kinds of ones. The guy who was doing it had like anyone you could think of ever, pretty much.
Well, which game?
Like from
for?
Japan as well. He had everything Gen 3 through Gen 7, 8.
Ah, so you bring like a DS. You
Gen
bring
7, I think it was DS, 3DS.
Okay, that's really cool.
Yeah, so that was cool. He got a ton of good stuff there, so that was awesome. Yeah. Which then that made me think about re-earthing your old Action Replay and all the hacking device
Man, we're
thing for the
talking about
DS.
a lot of illegal stuff this episode.
It's not really illegal. They sold it at Walmart.
I guess that's true.
There's a million YouTube videos about Pokemon
Nah, I know.
ROM-hacks.
Yeah, I'd stop Pokemon Unbound super fun.
Yeah.
Don't make the games like hundreds of dollars.
That's fair. Well, it's not Nintendo's fault.
Yeah, it's a ROM hack. It's a completely different game.
Yeah. But yeah, that was just super cool. So I got all of those. Started playing Pokemon Yellow. Haven't played a ton of it, but I definitely want to go back to it. It's just coming from today's games, it's so different and so much slower. But it's a really cool experience that I did not ever get to have. So going back to the beginning is awesome. The only thing I'll complain about with Game Boy Color is that the screen is not backlit. So
Well,
like
is Yellow even Game Boy Color? It's just Game Boy.
it's Game Boy Color.
Oh, is it in color?
Yeah. Yes. The only one that won't be that I have, other than Pokemon Red, the original, is Pokemon Blue. But Yellow, Silver, and Crystal will all be in color. Not that the color's that great, but regardless, I had to sit there and like have my phone flashlight like shining right on the screen to be able to see it.
Can you buy a backlit?
Yeah, people make them. I mean, it's just a
Yeah,
lot
I
more
watched
expensive because
some,
they
like-
put work into it.
Yeah, I've watched. I mean, I could do it. I've watched like modding tutorials and stuff for like
Yeah.
a couple channels I follow who do all that kind of thing, like tinkering. I'm sure I could figure it
Yeah,
out.
it's not. I mean, it's not worth it. They do sell, or they used to sell like these little lights that you could like bend to put on the screen.
Yeah, and like clip on.
Yeah,
Yeah, you could just buy one of those. Like I have one for my music,
yeah, similar to
like
that.
just like that, but
Similar
it clips
to
onto
that.
the game.
Yeah, and I did actually also buy a link cable because turns out we had a Game Boy Color at home as well.
Mhm.
I had a feeling, but I wasn't positive, so I went and found that. But I should now be able to do trade evolutions when I get there, because a lot of the Pokemon that I'm going to want to use, at least in Gen 1, like Alakazam, Gengar, all are trade evolutions.
Yeah, I'm familiar.
So I think trade evolutions are one of the stupidest things in Pokemon.
Yeah, that's one of the things I like about some of the ROM hacks because you can't really communicate
Yeah,
with them.
yeah.
So they just have like a trade stone.
Yeah, Pokemon Legends Arceus did a similar thing because they don't have a trading.
I mean, they just wanted to encourage you to play.
Well, yeah, I mean that was the whole point at the beginning. And
But
all
then,
the
like, if
marketing
you're
was
like
around,
a 100% or a completionist, then you got to buy two, or unless you
yeah,
have
or
friends who
was-
play it.
Yeah, that was the original idea, but now here we are, 30 years later.
Yeah, I don't think they were really thinking this far ahead.
Probably not. I mean, I can't imagine they thought it would be the #1 media franchise in the world, and have the staying power that it does. But here we are.
Yeah.
So yeah, it was overall incredible con. Had a great time, and yeah, very Pokemon focused. But it's one of my favorites, so it's good stuff.
Yeah, I mean, I think that just about does it. That was cool. We got to talk about some of our cons, a little bit about the podcast and the fun we've had over this past year.
Oh yeah,
But I think it's fun to just do that, to just be like, going in blind, a little improv kind of.
well yeah, I mean like
Just
that's
see
a
how
lot
the
of
conversation
podcasts.
goes.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I've mentioned it before, like a lot of podcasts when people are just talking, they're catching up with each other. We live together. So
Yeah.
if we're ever like just chit chatting about anime, we're not doing that on video.
Yeah, that's
What I said the other day or last night, we could just videotape myself all the time and then
See what
see if
sticks.
like something there's people are interested in. I'll be like, yeah, that's fun.
Yeah.
So if we did
That's
that,
funny.
then we could just have more just banter. But I'm not really ready to make that step.
Of recording yourself for 24 hours.
Yeah, so you'll just have to keep getting used to the podcast the way it is.
Yeah, certainly. No, I mean, I had fun. Like, it's cool to just be able to talk. And yeah, like we have a lot of fun at the conventions, and we got a few more
Most of
coming
the
up.
time.
Yeah, I mean, look, overall, like looking back, like even the ones with the worst experiences and the most disorganization, which is very, very frustrating in the moment, I still look back upon them all fondly.
Mm-hmm.
Like, we've never had anything happen that it was like, this is the worst day of my life. Like,
No, I mean, yeah, the worst thing that's going to happen is you're going to miss like an autograph, or it's going to be hot in the 4-hour line. You pass out, and then, you get some water.
you
wake
bounce
back up.
back. Yeah.
And maybe by that time you're at the front of the line.
I'm surprised nobody passed out yesterday. It was
Dude, I
crazy.
thought you were gonna.
I
It
was feeling
rough.
pretty down bad. I should have just brought a water in. Like,
Yeah,
I
like,
literally
we
bought a
had stuff.
Gatorade.
I mean, yeah.
on the way.
It's
and
like kind of weird though, because some events are like not about all that. Kind
honestly, every con I've ever gone to, I can bring a drink in. I don't
yeah,
really
so
know
I
what
guess
was
we've never
thinking.
really had that issue.
Yeah, but it is what it is. Yeah. So from here, we'll get back into our deep dives after this week. We're getting pretty close to the top. Where does the quintuplets fall on your list? For me, it's number 8. But I know
Number
we've-
4 for me, so
Wow.
we're bringing in my
Yeah,
top
we're
5
into the
now.
top 5. That's pretty cool. For me, number 4 is My Hero. So I think that'll probably be after the quints.
That's gonna be a long one. So.
And then there's top 3 for both of us, all different.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, my top 3 isn't your top.
Yeah,
3,
that's what I'm
so.
saying. There's no shared. So once we do My Hero, it'll just be back and forth.
Yeah,
top
till the
threes.
end. So that's very exciting. But
It is.
I like all the
With
shows.
My
you have
Hero,
left
like,
for
and the
most
last
part.
season coming out, I almost feel like maybe we should wait.
I mean, dude,
We can cross that bridge when we get
we'll
there,
just
but
make the quintuplets deep dive like 8
12
parts.
episodes. Yeah.
Easy peasy.
I mean, dude,
Um,
we could do an episode about every episode.
And also in the next, I guess it's probably not the next podcast, but the one after in like 2 weeks, we'll do our check-in. With
Yeah,
the
once we watch a few episodes.
summer
of
of
every show.
2025 season.
Yeah, so far so good.
Yeah, so far so
Other than
good.
the Fragrant Flower Blooms with Dignity being pushed to September in the United
Yeah,
States.
we'll talk about it
Thank
a
you,
little
Netflix.
more in a couple weeks.
Yeah.
But
And nothing
yeah.
will have changed.
So look forward to our quintessential quintuplets deep dive part 1 coming hopefully next week.
Coming this summer. Thank you. Peace.